YouTubers. I'm Phil from Florence, South Carolina. I wanted to show you my new offset smoker. It's a Texas Original Pits. That's who makes it. They're in Houston, along with a lot of other pit makers. Here's my pit, and I'll go over it in just a few minutes to show you some features about it. That's my dog Toby. He wants some attention. Anyway, I've got my wife showing who I am so you can see who the voice belongs to. Okay, pause. Okay, as you can see, my dog wanted to be in the video. This is the pit. It's a Texas Original Pits out of Houston, like I said, and it's a 20-inch pit by 36 by 18, and this pit is very reasonably priced. I was looking at pits and I saw all the high-end pits. I saw the big box store pits, and this one fit where I wanted to stay with my price. I wanted one of the other ones. You know, everybody wants the big one, but there's something for everybody. The high-end pits were from $2,000 to $3,000, and then you had the group that were $299 to $599, and it didn't have quite what I wanted. I wanted a little more on my pit, and you have to buy options. To start with, this pit was $13.49 listed online, and I got 5 options. I got this door counterbalance. I got this extra temperature gauge. I've got the probe port. Excuse me. This is the first time I've tried this. The probe port. And when you open up, I got the convection plate down underneath, as you can see. And this pit's built good. It's built well. It's got real nice metal in it. The bottom rack is 2 pieces. I'm sorry about the camera, folks. I'll have to keep looking at the I'm doing this on my phone. I don't have a video camera. This was an additional option, the slide out, and it's got good metal in it. It's got your steel wheels. The storage grate down below. Now this front, they used to weld these on, but now, as you can see, they come off. And also on in front of the firebox, if you want to get it through a gate or a tight space or just for storage or whatever, and that'll work. I don't have a problem with that. And you have your drain on this end, smokestack, a nice place to hang your clean out tool or other tools while you're working, cooking, smoking. Now down here is the firebox. You all know what that is. You have a plate up here you can keep something warm. A nice grill in here you can use for barbecuing if you want to cook hamburgers or whatever. And then I think that's a 16 by 18 firebox. I'm getting ready to fire this thing up in a few minutes. I'm gonna smoke some ribs today. Now I'd just like to say at this point what TOP, Texas Original Pits, what they did to give a good price for people like me in that middle price value. This is 1/4 inch. This here in the firebox is 1/4 inch. It's the real thing, just like the high-end grills. They found some places to reduce the metal gauge to where it's like 100 pounds under the Yoders and the Lone Star, the Gator Pit. They're about 100 pounds underneath what those are, but it's not in the cooker, it's not in the firebox. They found some places like the tubing for the legs, which once you weld all that together, it's not going anywhere. The smokestack is not 1/4 inch, it's a smaller gauge. And I saw the door, it's 3/16, it's not 1/4 inch, but that's good metal. It's not gonna be a deal breaker. And the ends of the firebox is 3/16. And that's where the 100 pounds of weight difference comes in. And that is no problem. This pit is heavy. It's but there again, the price. Plus they pay for the shipping. So when you buy one of these other grills, you pay about $350 to ship it. And so that's the price and the shipping paid. That's what sold me. Plus I'm getting a good value for my money. This is the only video online for this pit. I sent TOP an email through the contact online to encourage them to get some more video out there online of their grill, of their pit, the smoker, and encourage their customers to make videos, because that's where people are going now, to YouTube, to see what's out there. So I hope this helps. If you're looking for a pit in the middle of the price range, or the upper 3/4 price range, and not pay $2,500 to $3,000, this is your pit. And and you can get the options on it and load it down, and it'll do the job. So this is Phil in Florence, and I hope this helps. And I'll put another video on here of while I'm cooking smoking the ribs I plan on doing today. Okay, I've got my temps up. This says 290, but as soon as I open the grill up and get my meat on, what I've got here is 3 racks of ribs. I've got 2 using what's his name, it Killer Hogs. I can't remember his name right this second. Anyway, I'm using his recipe on these 2, and then I'm doing these Memphis style rub with no sauce and all that stuff. So let me get them on, be right back. Okay, I've got the meat on. Put them on the lower shelf. I probably ought to just take the top shelf off. I might do that so I can have easy access. I didn't think about that ahead of time, but that's what they look like. I'm getting ready to close them down. Okay, I got them on. We'll check back later on in the cook. I'll be, after the first hour, I'll let them cook for an hour, and then I'll be spritzing them with apple juice and apple cider vinegar about every 45 minutes. I'll see you back at the end of the cook. Well, as you can see, it's been 2 hours and 25 minutes. I lost some temperature for a while. I'm maintaining around 237. I had to rekindle the fire one time and so forth, but you got to learn your grill. When it says 195 and 205 up here, of course these are on the top of the smoker. This one's on the grate, on the lower grate, it's 233. So you've got to learn where it's hot and all of that. I'm gonna open it up now and spritz it. They're looking pretty good. I've got some apple juice and apple cider vinegar. Putting some here on the Memphis style. And these are going to be the Malcolm Reed Killer Hogs recipe. I'm not using the barbecue rub like he has, but I've got something I'm sure it's pretty close. You know, if you go online, you can find 50 different rubs, and most of them have, I'd say 80 or 90% of the same ingredients. It's just the other little stuff that people put in it. But I'm going to flip these over for a little while. Stand by. Well, you really lose a lot of heat when you open up to do things. Temperature came down pretty good, but it's building back up. That's just part of it. You open up your damper, you leave that top one open all the way, and you open up your damper butterfly on the firebox. You adjust it there, and keep checking your wood, coals. Alright, we'll check back toward the end of the cook. Be spritzing every 45 minutes or so. We're 3 hours and 38 minutes into the cook on 3 racks of ribs. This says 246. The one on the left here at the top says 225, and this one says 230. They're running pretty close, those two. It's usually around 10 degrees difference, but right now they're running pretty close with each other. I've had to adjust my dampers on and off all the way through. I've wrapped the two racks of ribs I was doing, following Malcolm Reed, his recipe. And of course, a lot of other people do that too. They followed him too. And the other one's Memphis style. So it won't be too much longer. I'll be unwrapping those ribs and putting the final barbecue sauce on them. And I'll show you what I have when I get done. This has been a learning experience for me, for sure. Getting ready to open up and unwrap those ribs and check the other rack to see how they're doing. It's been a learning experience for me, that's for sure. Let the smoke clear. Let me check this one with this probe here. Looks like that one's done. $199. Yeah, the meat's done on that one. All right. Well, let me put some paste on here one more time while I got it. This is some barbecue sauce I put together. That split like that when I first started. That rib rack had already done that when I first got started, so it didn't cook out that way. Alright, I'm going to remove that aluminum foil and get these other two basted and ready to go. Okay guys, this is about it. I just unwrapped. You can tell the ones that's got on the right, the two on the right were wrapped. The one on the left is the Memphis style. I'm gonna shut it back up and let it set that sauce, and then I'm gonna take them up and take them inside. Hey folks, we actually brought the meat in about 45 minutes ago, and our recording didn't take on that section. So we've already eaten, and boy, oh boy, was that good. We haven't ever had ribs that tasted like that. Anyway, offset smokers aren't popular around the South Carolina area. I've seen them at a state fair before years ago and didn't even know what I was looking at. But anyway, this is the zoom in. This is the Memphis style, and this you can see what's left of the rack. And this is the sweet. I'm going to cut one open. And this is the one where I followed Malcolm Reed's that's recipe of the butter, the brown sugar, and the honey. And this is the Memphis style, and they were both good. I guarantee you they'll all be eaten. But you know, they've already been sitting out for about 45 minutes, so they were juicy. They were just absolutely delicious. Okay. Wait a minute. Put it back up. Is it still going? We're new at this. I'm getting my wife to help me, so you can just laugh with us and at us. But I've had a guy that asked me to do a video on this Texas original pit, because there's nothing else out there on the web on it. And it did a great job. You have to learn your pit and learn where the hot spots or the hotter than other areas are in your smoker. I'm still learning. So we've got Boston butts to go, and briskets to go, and beef ribs. So we'll be doing more. So until next time, Phil in South Carolina, signing off. Folks, that's what I ended up with. My wife likes the sweet rib better. Well, there's the guy right there, Toby. He's been with me all day. But she liked the sweet rib over the Memphis style rib, so I guess we'll go with sweet from now on. But thanks for watching, and we'll be back. Oh, one more thing I wanted to say. We have drooled all over your videos, all these people that's cut these ribs, showing us how succulent they were and juicy, and our mouths would be watering. Now you can water on this.